Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you all. Welcome to our live. This is Dr. Leland from Level Up Academy. Today, we have plenty of things to be grateful for. So come on in and join us. Today, we're going to talk about when you have a book and you're already an author, how do you leverage your book to your advantage? So let's go ahead and dance a little bit.
Welcome everybody to Level Up Academy podcast. We have 40,000 YouTube subscribers with 100,000 views for the month of January. Thank you. We are globally ranked top 10% podcasters out of 3 million because of you. Thank you so much. We are in 90 nations and countries now, actually, not just 80. And we are also in an amazing radio show as well in 30 different other countries. We are in 25 distribution channels, and our E360 TV is going to double up soon on Sunday. That means more opportunities for big organizations and companies and founders to be on TV. We are the world for us, by us. Our vision is to be the Netflix of education, while our mission is to level up the world through education. Help us. To keep my sanity, I meet A-listers in Hollywood and amazing people from Stan Lee to Greg Nicotero to Ken Foree, and of course the RoboCop and Alien are my favorite movies throughout my life. 3 times international best-selling co-author, and I am publishing with 24 different co-authors currently with Beyond Boundaries. TV analytics, why do you want to be with Level Up? Look at 54 to 64 is what we're capturing, and even 3 to 18 years old. We are having 2,000 watch hours in our TV show. The platform that is mostly popular is on the web and, of course, Roku channel and Amazon, along with iPhone users. YouTube subscribers, our biggest one is 35 to 44, and 45 to 54 years old is our biggest demographics. And let's take a look at female and male. 26.3% female and more men on YouTube watching us. Ask yourself, who has the most disposable income in your niche of organization? This is the TV. I'm capturing more women on TV than men. So I have both men and women demographics. This is the YouTube channel. 73% men, 26% female. Look at our impression. Over 250,000 just for 28 days. So let's collaborate. Let's go ahead and go take our courses. Let's do book publishing, graphic design, mentorship, and we are your publicity hub. Welcome to Level Up Academy, guys. And in our Level Up Circle TV, you will be in Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple, Google Play, and much more. 1,000 thanks to everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and see what Level Up Academy is all about.
Are you a curious student, eager to learn new skills and make your mark in the world? Or are you a professional seeking to advance your career and unlock your full potential? You need to be equipped with effective soft skills like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and more. The Level Up Academy by Doc Leland bridges the gap between education and employment through transferable skills training. Get the soft skills you need to be more effective at work.
Hello, everybody. Are you guys ready for my affiliates? There they are. thank you guys so much for being here today. We have a lot to talk about, like a lot. But first things first, I cannot stop talking about my anthology brothers and sisters. These 26 other co-authors with me have amazing stories and have amazing souls to even be like talking about their personal journey, their personal experiences to life. Okay. Amazing people. Welcome, guys. Happy Wednesday. I know Mike's probably like, what kind of color of hair does she have today? My hair. For sure. That's just my hair, Mike. Nothing else. Tomorrow we're gonna have Mike and Izzy and Jackie Halberg, and we are actually gonna be talking about the book and their amazing journey with their book. And they read 5 minutes of their journey of the book and also an excerpt like about the book. And look at guys. So I will be pulling them out on Sunday. If you I think it says it will print probably like April 10th. So if you buy anything after that day, after Sunday, your book might not be printed. You're gonna have to wait either 3 weeks to I might be able to try to get them to do something on that, or I could actually just wait for you guys to have everyone sign it in June. So you won't be able to get the access to the book till about June. I'll try to get it accessed before then, but I can't guarantee that. Nothing's guaranteed when you're working with third-party people. Right now, I was actually looking at TikTok. When you put your book on TikTok, as you can, and unfortunately, because TikTok is still not owned by the US or a US company, the limited capacity of Amazon's distribution doesn't go all over the world. So I'm looking to elevate and level up this book to the world. Right now, you probably think, well, Amazon is the biggest. Yeah, maybe northern hemisphere here in the US and Canada, but there are limited capacity in terms of distribution. There's actually way bigger distribution channels than Amazon. So that's what I'm trying to do, is level up my anthology, and any anthology moving forward. Hopefully we can do that. It costs a lot of money to do it, but at the same time, it's worth it. Because what is the aim? It's not really the money. Otherwise, you won't get rich. Okay, let's just be honest. You won't get rich just off the book, because you're not going to be able to sell millions and millions and millions and millions of copy unless you keep working at the book. And that is our topic today is, are you an author? Do you know how to leverage your book for brand awareness? A lot of us have been multiple authors on multiple anthologies, solo book authors, right? Like my sister Susanna Dawn. Wonder where she is. She's not here right now. Wonder what she's doing. Sister, what are you doing? If you're watching. Anyhow, she has her books on certain distribution channels, but it's still not enough, because we got to put it out some more, right? Think of it like Walmart and Amazon basically fighting for the marketplace. But who has the access to more marketplace wins, because that means you have access to more people, more buyers, right? And having Amazon, it's a perception that they have marketplace everywhere, but maybe less than 10 or 15 countries that Amazon is actually providing, right? Providing books. So that's why I'm trying to get this anthology to level up, because what do? I always make sure I level up everything that I know for you guys, because the goal is what? What is my mission? You guys know my mission? To level up the world through education, right? And I wanted to be in the Netflix of education, and everyone's telling me that's impossible, CJ. Your dream is too much. Isn't it called a dream for a reason? Okay, and it's a vision because you're dreaming, but I'm trying to make it a reality. You can't be all nagging on me. You got to help me instead, because you are part of this community. And all you got to do is support yourself by supporting others and elevating others, not dragging others down. Our job is to be what? Communal, to help each other out. So that is where the book is for Sunday. If you guys want t-shirts or coffee mugs. I actually haven't ordered one, but I don't have access to physically do it here. I actually know how to make it, but I just do not have the time. I wish I had more than 24 hours to make it. I know how to make cups, t-shirts, stickers, whatever that you need, but I just don't have the time. I have all the cutting machines on my house. I don't have the time. So what I do is I outsource that to my YouTube channel. If you go to shops, you can find everything. I have a community in YouTube. I haven't put my videos in there yet, so I will. If you are a member in our YouTube, you'll have certain badges. It's like $2.99 a month. But if you show up on YouTube, you have your own sticker and badge. And I usually will do shout outs when I see your stickers in there. I will be putting more, I will be switching my gear soon to from Publicity Hub, because right now we're doing Publicity Hub, to course content creation. So you'll have access to courses like Dr. Bose that we did a mini course yesterday. Excuse Cheerio, she's pissed at our gardener right now. And also we're going to have access to my courses. We're going to have technical stuff into non-technical users. We're also going to have access to certain promotions. I have promotions every month. Right now, you're running into the last days of promotion. Actually, today is the last day. If you wanted to be in Business Insider, myself and 3 other amazing souls, I won't tell you who is going to be on Business Insider. I'm sure you already know who they are, amazing people. They will be in Business Insider. And you're like, CJ, what is that? It's actually a press release. If you're doing something with your organization, you're launching a program, you are launching brand new products, anything like that, you need a press release. It's called brand awareness. And I'm actually doing that. Today is the last day. I've run it for 2 weeks. The next month, I don't know what it's going to be. You'll always have access to Business Insider. It's just that you're not going to be able to fit it in your budget because it's going to be way too expensive by then. So what I do is I negotiate price, it goes down, and then you can afford it. So when it's a promo, that means it's much, much lower price than a regular price that's already priced down, right? Let's see. I don't know what's going to happen next month because I work with a PR agency international. And so I'm not sure what their promo is going to be, but I will definitely let you know what's happening in there. Shout out to Noni Varani, Noni Pepperoni, Ali calls you, for inviting me, right, in your team. And your team was so amazing. And I saw the post too. You guys are so amazing with that. I love that you guys call me out on and thanking me. And let me tell you something, I'm thanking you because you inviting me to speak for your organizations and a whole bunch of amazing business leaders. What it does is that it actually promotes my mission, which is to level up the world of education. That just because someone has ADHD, bipolar, or panic, anxiety, depression, whatever you're going to, PTSD, whatever emotional things that you're going through, that is, some are permanent, but some are temporary. But you shouldn't judge people because they're down in their life, right? It's like someone is down and you're still kicking them. Why? You should help them up, right? That's what you should do. And that's what I do. So you should definitely do it. That's something we need to do. So shout out to Downtown Streets team. Thank you guys for inviting me. I appreciate you so much. But today, I'm going to show you a slide. Actually, let me share a screen because we have our topic today. I don't know if you guys can see it yet. There you are. It's called Building Your Brand with a Book, Leveraging Your Book for Success by me. I actually teach this class and I'm going to give it to you for free because guess what? Leveling up the world through education, equalizing education and information. Part of that is giving back to your community. And I always will give back to my community as much as I can, as much as possible. I'm not a rich person. And time technically is more valuable than money, right? And then right down that time is friendship. You can't buy my friendship. Once you lose it, it's gone. I don't go back. You have to really piss me off to really be me not talking to you that bad. Because most of the time I usually forgive quickly. But I can only do so much as a human being. I am forgiving you from my heart, but I just don't feel like that energy is going to be conducive to moving forward with anything. But today it's all about the author. So now you wrote a book and you are a #1 international bestseller. And you're like, what do I do? What do I do with this book to create authority? The reason that you said yes in the first place, figure out, why did you say yes to writing a book? Why did you say yes to be collaborating with a project? There's a reason for it, guys, right? And what's the reason? You got to figure that out. So, ooh, did you see the book? Love you, Sister Danielle. I know you're watching. Love you. Okay. Look at these amazing people. These are like, we have 26 different authors here, not including myself, of course. And if you see that brain, you're like, one of my girlfriend's daughter, Auntie CJ, why does that brain have hole? Did the sun just went through it so much? I'm not going out anymore. That sun is so burning. Like, she's 4, guys. Okay. And I said, oh, wow. Thank you so much. No, I said, honey, what it is that when your mind is so bright, right? All of these things that you see, if you look at the silhouette and you see all the little things, and she literally made me go, okay, to Canva, maximize the thing to count what's in the whole head. She literally made me do that yesterday at 1 in the morning. And she was looking at all the gears and she's like, what's all of this? I said, you know how sometimes you think about things and you think about things and you think about things and you're like, at the end of the day, you're exhausted because now you're like, I don't remember if I was hungry or I'm supposed to play with a friend. Oh, she's like, yeah, I was thinking of shopping. And then my mom said no. Then I started crying. And then I wanted pink shoes. I was like, exactly. Think of these things are like that. But when you are focused on something that you really love, that shine, that things that's brightening up the head, that's what it is. You focusing on Auntie right now, that sun is a focus, sweetie. She goes, what? What's that for? I'm like, don't say it. I know you're gonna say something. Your mom's gonna beat me across this TV or this Zoom right now. And she's like, yeah, whatever Auntie said. What's that? And I said, you know, when you're like talking to me right now, even though you wanted to go shopping with your mom, but you're talking to me right now, that is called focus. She's like, I learned a word. I said, don't say it. Don't say it, because I know she's gonna say it. But a 4-year-old was so curious about that. And I had to explain to her. And I don't think I even explained that to any of the co-authors, that that's what it is. When you're laser focused, this is my head ADHD, people. And people who don't know what ADHD is, bouncing all the stuff. And I just need to like have laser focus on what I need to do. Okay. So shout out to all who have ADHD, guys. Much love. I know we can focus on something. Just write it down. My sister Danielle writes it down. I write it down mentally. And I'm bad with names, guys. Okay. But I'm good with faces and what you did. I'm definitely good at that. But these are amazing souls, right? So now we have this book. And if you are a co-author, hopefully you're listening. How can it be? So the book can be a powerful tool for communicating your brand message, right? Here are some key points to consider. Know your target audience, right? When you're writing a book, I know you're excited to share your story, but you got to have a point. You can't just go, you can't. ADHD people are like that. But you got to know your target audience. What are you trying to do with your book? What is the point of your book? You have to have a theme. And most anthology have a theme. And our theme was, can you tell me a portion of your life that you actually had to go through an adversity? And I know everyone goes through adversity, but think of a specific adversity you went through. That at the end of that pain, that suffering, that and that aha moment came, the revelation of, wow, I can make a lot of people's lives different because I went through it, and you're thriving. And most of you create a business out of that because you know how to help people who may have a similar situation that you've gone through. But remember, right? Remember that just because it's similar situation doesn't mean everything fits to everything. You're going to have to see how that fits to your life and extrapolate those tools to apply to yours. Everything is testing, guys. In life, enjoy the ride. Rough, plain, happy, sad, angry, enjoy, because that's part of the journey. Okay? So that is the journey. The theme of this is When did you thrive? And how are you going to help people thrive? Right? Because when we can relate other people's story, we can then see ourselves in it and said, okay, I'm down today, but I know it's not permanent. Danielle went through it. CJ went through it. Susanna went through it. Scott, Steven, Harsha, everyone went through it, right? So that is what. Focus on the benefits. How does your book help readers solve a problem or improve their lives, right? Think about that when you write a book. Develop a clear and consistent voice. Your writing style should reflect your brand personality, right? And the hardest part of anthology is that there's so many different personalities. There's so many different focus. So what do? We means Susanna and I. I don't even know where sister is. I hope you're listening. But develop those voice to make sure that it reflects your brand and personality. I shouldn't say never, I have, but lately I have never seen someone who's very consistent with their voice other than my dear sister. Susanna is very consistent, moving beyond boxes, right? And she talks about it all day, all night because she's living it. She has been doing it and she is trying to help you move beyond the boxes and get you out of your thoughts, right? Now, when you're doing that, you're telling a story. People connect with stories. Weave your message into a narrative that resonates with your audience. Refine your message. Get feedback from beta readers or critique partners to ensure your message is clear and compelling. Here's the great news about anthology. Well, at least our anthology. Not only Susanna and I read it and edit, but everyone in the group goes to a edit time, right? We get into a Zoom, we edit each other, we read each other. Then after the Zoom, some people go into their own little, niche group that they feel comfortable within that Zoom so they can further edit their thoughts and help each other out, right? Because we are all about networking and collaborating. And I love it when they do that because now I have introduced them to a world of what? Consistent persistency and accountability group. They didn't even know they had an accountability group, but they did. They've created their own accountability group and exchange of information. So these are some of the tools when you come to powerful tool in communicating. Now, building your brand with a book, right? Looking for amplifying your message. The point of the book is to amplify your message. You can have further brand reach. Livestream also explores that. Here you can explain to people. So today we're going to look at crafting your brand through your book, designing a book, utilizing social media, and of course, a surprise. There's somebody here, a surprise. The power of publishing. Well, what is the power of publishing, guys? It establishes your credibility as an expertise in your field, right? It positions you as a thought leader. Think about it as somebody who is talking about it. If you want to be a speaker, the best thing to do is write a book, right? Write a book. And people are like, oh, I already know this, right? But can you imagine when you go to a speaking engagement and you brought your book and said, in this book, here are some portions that I'm going to talk about today. Not only you're doing it, right, to market your book, but also people are curious about the other people story and they'll be able to look at that, right? I mean, for example, I actually was crying when I was writing this book. Here's a portion of it says from liability to asset. I know it sounds like accounting, but a personal transformation. Listen, okay, my brain is all over, but I have structure. That's one thing I have going for. And when I talk about that, right? If you're an accounting person, you're like, oh, she's talking about finance. No, I'm talking about what? Accounting of life, right? You have to account for life and how you transform. So that's how you do it, right? Increase your visibility and reach. You can go around town bringing your book, even if it's an anthology, because it's actually better when you're doing it with other people as well. Now, we are talking about crafting your brand message. Align your book's content with your brand message. I've already talked about that at the beginning. Consider your target audience. Are you doing it for a children's book? Are you doing it for people who have mental wellness issues? Like right now, people think of it as a disability. I don't think of it as a disability or a crutch. I think of it as a creativity, right? Think of it as a positive thought. That's my superpower. Yes, there are positive and negative, but what's not? Life has yin or yang. There's days where you're just like, ugh. And there's days where you're like, woohoo, right? And it's that. It's the same thing as that. But consider your target audience, develop a consistent tone and voice throughout. That's why you have a theme and anthology. Now, when you're talking about leveraging your book's presentation, make sure you design a cover that reflects your brand identity. Utilize a consistent branding style when it comes to fonts and colors. Craft a compelling title and blurb. My daughter realizes that when I write and I also create stuff, every single page is different. She's like, Mom, not everyone has ADHD like you. You need to be like consistent. I'm teaching it and I'm not getting a good advice for myself. And I looked at my daughter, I'm like, go away. And then when she goes away, I'm like, oh, she's right. Darn it. My daughter knows me too much. And that's my youngest. And she's 16. Okay. She can be the only one who's like bossy. When it comes to expanding your reach through promotion, guys, utilize your social media to promote your book and connect with your readers. Explore media opportunities like interviews, guest posts. Consider public speaking engagements like networking events. One thing that I love, and I love, 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 love our anthology, is I already have the platform. So every time you're in my anthology, you guys are going to be part of that platform. The TV, the radio, the MP3, all of that is already included in the platform. So that's one thing I love about in-house social media. If you also go with us for publishing, we also do your book cover depending on what you wanted to do. We'll have design it for you, right? We also do editing for you. Now, when it comes to socializing social media, again, ask for an interview on a podcast. It doesn't have to be mine. It could be Susanna's. It could be Dr. News on Friday. It could be Hounds of Business Community, right? On Tuesdays with Mike King or Wednesdays with Mike and Izzy, right? You could be on YouTube. Look for people who are active on social media, right? Go look at your circle. Use your new book release and find create a press release to announce it. That's why I am putting the press release for my group to see who wants to be interested, because that has 250 million people watching that Business Insider. And another thing is website, signatures, banners, pictures, resume. That is where you can put all of that. But right now, do you guys want to know my guess? Oh, I think we matched. I'm horrible. I haven't even like highlighted anybody's message. How rude. All right, guys. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? No? You're not ready? Are you ready, sister? Oh, look, we're wearing black.
It's funny because this is actually dark green, but it always comes across as black. So
Wait, let me see. Oh, yeah, it does dark green, but it looks
because
black.
this
Oh, you're
this
right. Because
that
when I
nice
look at
puffy
it now.
one. It's a nice puffy one I had going to Orlando.
Oh, that's the one. Woo.
That's the
How are you
one.
doing today?
It's a good day. It was good to have a day that started off well. A little bit of manifesting, a little bit of meditation time, and yeah.
Well, we have to do it. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being the first person here right after my sister Susanna. Let's talk about the book, sister. We haven't had a chance to really be talking about the book without other co-authors, right? Because we're so excited to like enhance their visibility.
Exactly.
Because that's what we do. We like to elevate other people, and I get excited when I elevate other people. So today we're going to talk about another project that's coming up. Can we talk about that?
Of course we can.
All right.
It's
So
gonna
when is it
be it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna we're basically starting it now. Now is the kickoff, and the writing will start the 1st of May. It's going to be a very similar, I mean, we've got the system, so it's going to be very similar to the last project.
What is our theme this time?
Well, you're going to notice there's some continuity in our themes, in how we put these together. So you had Beyond Boundaries, and you've talked Beyond Boundaries a lot yourself. And I remember when it first came up and you said, this is it, and it made total sense. The next one is Moving Beyond Boxes, the journey to self-discovery. And that's
Tell me
going to
more.
take us, that's going to, in some ways, it's the next step of what we're doing. Because when we move beyond boxes, we are moving beyond the things that have held us back, those boxes that we get stuck in for whatever reason. And one of the most important journeys, when you feel stuck in life, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn, you need awareness ignited in you to understand where you are. And it's all part of this journey of self-discovery. In fact, in my case, it's like I always knew who I was. However, the journey took a whole lot of twists and turns, went down paths that I never belonged on, but I didn't have a choice. And so the self-discovery, in my case, I kind of knew who I was the whole time, but then there's still a self-discovery when you finally let that awareness ignite and move beyond the box, take those steps. That's all part of this journey of seeing who you are and being your authentic self. And really, self-discovery is the path, the journey of being your authentic self.
That's true. When we're talking about, the next project and said, okay, what is our theme and what are some of the thoughts behind it? Because people will always ask whoever is going to be on it, right? Sometimes we say, yes, I'm going to be in it. And then you're reading the information, you're like, I don't know if this fits you. Listen, if you're thinking of being in our project, it's actually really fun. And we're not just saying it just to have you in it. It's because we're saying it because that's the feedback we've gotten. Okay.
Mhm.
And Kevin, shouting out to you, bro. Don't miss this one. Definitely. Moving Beyond Boxes. You guys are fun. Like, I want you to be in this project. Hopefully you'll be able to come into this project. It's international. We don't have borders like you have to be in the US and Canada only.
Never.
Our goal is to be inclusive to everybody who wants to be in it, right? If you have been waiting, like Gabe totally told us, and it really, like, I didn't know the background of why he wants to write. I just knew that he wants to write. So when he told us during our live, I was so touched. I was holding myself down because I cry a lot on live. I'm like, I'm not gonna cry.
It's
I was
easy
telling
to
my inner,
do.
right? And I was so touched by what he said that it took me, 10, 15 years to really write it. And then when I'm writing it and I don't want to do it because it's just so overwhelming, right? The best thing you can do is if you've been journaling, even if you haven't been journaling, but if you have, and you really thought, there's portions of my life that I really wanted to share with people out there that could really help, right? It's cathartic to just let it go. This is the time because you're not doing it alone. And Susanna and I, we go big or we go home. We don't do projects half.
That's
We don't
true.
do that, right? We don't do, I mean, we are going to be like 1 a.m, even with my daughter over here at midnight wanting to go to CVS, and we were still trying to go in. So we definitely are. So Kevin, I hope that you can come in. Good morning, Sister New. How
Well,
are
and
you?
here's the other thing. When you talk about it's not just US, Canada, this book covers 4 continents. Because we had Ollie in Europe, we had Olu in Africa, and we had Timothy in Australia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
unless we had somebody we didn't have South America, so we need that. And I don't remember anybody being in Asia at this point, so we can use that. And maybe you can get when you get that person down in Antarctica to listen to your podcast, they can Also right.
sensitive subject. I'm like, oh, I need some sun. They're so busy. Did you know? Bella told me yesterday that apparently Antarctica is melting so bad that flowers are growing, and the flowers that is growing was from millions of years ago because it was buried, and as soon as the
Right.
sun hit them, they're like bloom, right? And I was like, oh, this is why we need to plant trees so we can have more oxygen. And that book, every
Well,
purchase that you have will go through towards our trees all the way till June. We're still gonna keep going.
well, in that we're going to keep that. I like that premise, and I will find something to do with this book too. Maybe I'll join that one or come up with something else. But I liked that idea of the SDGs, and you had what, 5 SDGs? So it's like, do I get competitive and try to find 6?
Go for it. That's a good competition. When you're
It's
competing for good and you're competing for community and not for yourself, that is good competition. Like
Mhm.
literally, I want to compete with all the people who are in here live and all of our brothers and sisters who are doing team replay. My competition is I bet you I can shout you out better than you can shout me out. That's a good competition.
that
Right?
would be
I bet
true.
you I can shout you out better than you can shout me out. Let's see who can compete. That's a good competition. I think back in like if you believe in like life after like there's a life after death and you can get reborn. I think I was a jester thousands of years ago. Like totally entertaining. I'm just there. Um, and then one person asked me from who was she from? It wasn't Philippines. I don't know if it was Cambodia. One of my students basically said, Dr. Leland, I'm so scared, but I want to be you. I don't know how that will. I said, first of all, don't be me. It's crazy life. You don't want to be me. I might be a good role model on certain things, but don't be me. What I want you to do is be you, but do something that you like about me. Um, she's like, I like everything. Okay, girl, let's start with one. What do you want to do with your life? Right. And she's like, I want to do publicity because I'm good at it in high school. She's in college right now. And I said, okay, why don't you start writing in your school? And then after that, she's like, I don't think girls are allowed to write yet, like as a writer. I'm like, there's your cost. Why not? Why not? You might get in trouble
Like,
for this. I do get in trouble for. There are things that you stand for that you get in trouble, but be resolute. Why not girls can't be a main writer in your school? There's something wrong with that, right? And she's like,
exactly.
oh my God, you're right. I'm gonna ask my dad to talk to the board. I was like, oh boy, don't say Dr. Leland said it. I'm gonna be in trouble. And so I'm waiting for her to tell me next week if she could write in her school. I'll let you know. But I told her, I'm like, start with that. Start with why not girls can write. I said, you got to start writing your school. When you write, make sure you, first time you write, make sure that you gave it all you've got because that's the only room that opens your door or shuts your door.
Right.
Right? Everything that you do when you're given an opportunity, don't take it lightly, guys. Whether you get a scholarship for us and you get into our projects for free or you pay, we give you the same energy. Don't take advantage of that. We are watching all the time. But if your heart is not in a giving space, don't jump on the project just for vanity measures. We take everything we do at heart. We give you time. We give you support. We give you love. We give you care because we want you to grow, right? I am going to tell you, I'm not a green thumb. I'm a serial plant murderer. I can't do it. But when it comes to giving people that energy, I can be that for you, right? And Susanna can be that for you. Now, sister, what's our goal for this new project? Are we bringing it to the world as well? Or is it the same exact process? Are we giving people a chance to like come in for free if they have 4 friends to support? How are we doing it?
We're keeping it pretty much the same. I think I really like the way that we've laid this out. So if you've been in our book, there's a discount. If you're in the Hounds, there's a discount, but you cannot add them together. It's one or the other. And definitely, if you've got 4 friends, the 5 of you come in, buy 4, get 1 free.
Because CJ likes to negotiate.
Well, I mean, that's what we both are, because we're in this to lift everybody up. And the way that we approach it, and this is what I love about working with you, is our styles, they're similar enough. The way we approach each author, and this is something that you can go back to any of the authors in our book and say, what was it like to work with whoever you worked with? I watched the ones that I worked with. I kind of give them a little bit of a class in my comments when I edit the first time. And when I get the second version back, I was blown away by how much they had basically learned from my comments, changed it, and what came out was just amazing. You look at some of those stories and you just go, wow. And if you'd have seen what it was in the first place, it's
Oh,
night
I've
and
seen
day.
them. I see them.
But
Jenny just like, yeah.
that's the beauty of how we do this, is it's not just an edit, here you go. I mean, we give them thoughts with it too. If we see something, we want to give them a reasoning of why we're doing this. If it's something that has to be done, like, you need to do this. If it's not, we've had a couple of them that we give them the comments, and they're like, yes, but this is really how I want it. And you already said this once before, it's got to be in their voice. And if
Right.
there's one thing you and I are the best at, even as a ghostwriter, it's making sure that what is written is in that person's voice, not our voice.
Mm-mm.
It's their story. Why would I want to embellish it in a way that's not them?
I love that, because I don't want anybody to edit my voice to change something else.
Oh,
Now we
heck
do
no.
grammar, we do this, we move things around. I try to level up some of the stuff, but if you don't feel comfortable, I do have a tendency to write like an academic, just guilty. And so I try to like nudge it down a little bit and said, okay, let's go ahead and see it this way. These are some of the thoughts that I have. What do you think? Because at the end of the day, guys, right, if you think about it as a business, you're literally the customer, and we're trying to enhance your visibility and thought leadership.
Mhm.
Our goal when you're writing in our anthology is not to pull you down, because that's our project. Hello, we're not there to get you, we're there to elevate you. So whatever
Exactly.
we see to make changes, it's for your own whatevers. But if you want to stick to your own whatevers and you don't want to take our nudge or a slight advice, that's up to you. Also, there's no pressure like, oh, they're going to hate me because I don't want to change it. No, you can stay where you're at. We're just saying, hey, we do this a lot, and this is what we see that you can improve on. If you don't want to improve it because that's your feeling and that's your thoughts, it's okay too. No harm, foul, nothing, no harm feelings here. It's just that I wish someone would mentor me kind of thought. And this is what we do, is we mentor your thoughts a little bit so that you can go
Right.
move forward. But we're not going to change your whatevers, because it's not fair that's you worked so hard on it. And then people just, oh, so you just think that this and this is just all about marketing. No, it's about your story. When you write in a book, it's your legacy. It's there forever. You guys might hate us in the future, 10 years from now, but you'll never get away the fact that you're in this book. Okay.
Exactly. Well,
And go ahead.
and another thing on that I was thinking is, for each of these authors, it's interesting how many came into this, because we basically said from 1,500 to 3,000 words. So that's the length of each chapter. And how many of them kind of wondered if they could ever get near 3,000 words? And then it's like, okay, go. And 2 days later, somebody comes in and it's like, I'm done. And they're actually just over the 3,000. It's like, that's awesome. You got to trim it. And then we can look at it, because that's word counts matter.
It does. We have a tendency to meander. Less is more, guys, right? We love to just get on with the whole entire thing, but you got to read your own writing and be introspective, right? Don't get the offensive side and defensive side, like, oh my God, they're critiquing my thoughts. No, no. Here's the thing: when you come into this project, you're gonna need to submit like a rough draft or whatever, but really use the tools that you have. It's called word count. We are very strict on word count. The reason for that is I'm gonna give you my reason, and so Sonic can give you reasons. There's a couple. First is the editing portion, right? We're not editing 3,000 words. We're editing however many authors in there, 3,000 words times 27. Okay. Then on top of that, we have a limited amount of time. Secondly, when we actually put it in the distribution channels, we are actually paying per pages. Okay, per pages, guys. Okay, it costs money. Even one page over will be $100 sometimes. Okay, so that's the reason why we are very strict on page count. And some people are like, well, what do you care if I have one more paragraph in there? Well, we care because we're paying. We, as in Susanna and I, are paying, not necessarily what you paid is not even enough, to be honest with you, with the editing. We do it out of love for our community, right? Editing is 20,000 on its own when it's like a wholeheartedly with editing and everything else, and it's a lot of money. And marketing itself is probably another $2,000. So if you just have your manuscript, you want it edited and marketed, you're talking $20,000, right? And we're asking you for 500. Think about that. We do it for the love of our community. Please respect our time, at least, because when we tell you specifically, 3,000 words and you're at 3,200, we're sometimes seeing it like either A, you're not listening, or B, you're not respecting our time. That's really how it works, right? But we know that you love us, so it's okay, and we give you a nudge. But please be conscientious. When we give you a word count, there's a reason for it. We're not just being like, we just wanted 3,000. It's the editing and the money that goes with behind the scenes that you guys don't see. So we'd like to talk about that. Do you have, in addition to that, sister?
Well, and that, I mean, the word count is one of the most important things, which is why we don't want to also be reading it over and over and over, because if you go over on the word count and then you trim it to get under, and if we've already read it once and we're basically reading the same thing again, that's we only want to read it once, give you the comments before we go into the next aspect. So the page counts, yeah, I know how many people kind of sat back and said, oh, it's just one more sentence. It's just, and we can go only so far with it's just, especially if, I mean, we had 27 authors on this book. I think we've talked about willing to go up to 44, I think is what we've talked about at one point, as being kind of a max for these books. So imagine if we got 40 authors.
Yeah, there's a lot
40
of
authors. That's a lot of pages. That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of pages. And so we actually have fees that we have to pay on our end in addition to whatever we're doing already. So that's why word count in books actually matters, right? And that's the reason why we're not trying to be a meanie. we're giving you the reasons of why are they talking about that. And some people only give you one paragraph for a short bio or a dedication. We were even kind enough to do both, and we want to do both because sometimes in life, to be honest with you, you want to establish yourself as an authority, and I'm thinking ahead for you, business owners. So if you are an authority, you have to have a short bio, right, of what your love. But then you can't do it alone. There's families and friends behind what you're doing. So that's why we wanted to give you that space for dedication. because it's a whole, it's a holistic circle, right? And that's what we want, is to give energy through that whole process for you and for us. If you didn't see why I do what I do, there's always methods to my madness that you don't see. Just ask me, like, CJ, what is this crazy idea you're doing? I'll tell you. I just can't tell you everything because it's all on my head. But Susanna just literally will agree most of the time because we think alike. And that's
We
why
do.
we literally like, I am like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. She's like, no, I agree with that. I'm like, you do? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is easy. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, the way we go.
no,
Yeah. Because,
like,
and the other thing we did with this too is like 2 photos. So 1 bio photo. So the bio is kind of the professional piece, and we keep it at 150 words. The dedication, because this is a journey of self-discovery, and usually we don't take these journeys alone. There's somebody else that's involved, or there's somebody else that is there on the back end of it, when you've gotten through this journey, that's there waiting for you with open arms as you go into the next phase, as it were. So it's important to have that photo of whoever you want, and have that dedication to say thank you.
yeah, being thankful and being grateful intentionally with a open mind and an open heart is so satisfying, quite honestly. Also, guys, so we're going to give you, how much are we going to give people time, sister? Are we doing the same amount of time? 2 months? A 1.5 month? One
Well,
and a
yeah,
half month is what we did.
it was about 1.5 months from the time we started. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't start writing once they sign up,
You
but
can start writing now and then sign up, right?
it's
Like,
true. That is true. And it's also good to just, if there's any questions about it, to talk to either one of us on what it is that you're looking to talk about. I think it's been interesting how we have those conversations with people because they're not sure if they fit, or they think they've got a story, but they're still questioning in their mind. And after we hear that initial story, is we just sit there, and you've talked about how many times you've been in tears as you hear these first stories, and then it's like, it's a no-brainer. You need to be in the book. You need
yeah,
to
we're
share
more
that.
interested in your stories, guys, because that's
Somebody
how we
needs
can
to
learn
hear
about
it.
the world. Yeah. Even if you haven't written it and you're thinking about, like, I really want to be in this project, Susanna and CJ, there's some things that I want to be part of, right? In our community of thrivers. Yes, please. I do want to see your premise because we want to help out. In some stories that you think in your head might not work, it's gonna work. We're gonna make it work. The only question is, are you ready to work? That's really the only question. Because when you belong in a collaborative community, there's a lot of moving parts, especially in the way we're communicating. So I created a Facebook group just, for people in there. I shouldn't say just. I invite everybody to be there, really, because I'm going to put classes and courses in there that's free about publishing and authorship and all that. Susanna's a moderator. Yeah, she's a moderator in there. She's going to get in there. Okay, guys. Dr. New and Danielle is moderating in there as well for the conversations. We're going to start having a conversation in there with the project soon. We're going to post it a lot on social media because you want to be in it. But we do have a max capacity, so don't wait to get in there because we have limited seats and we have limited time because of the editing that you just heard. So
Exactly.
go ahead and come in if you have an idea. We do the same thing. If you're bringing 4 people or 4 friends to the project, you can get in for free. I'm going to give scholarships soon as well, and a giveaway on my TV. I have giveaway buttons on there. Livestream doesn't have it, but my other TV will do it. So I will probably start on April. We're still in March, guys. Okay. So next week on TV, I'll be doing giveaways for people to come in for, to the project. But I want to hear your story, right? It's going to be on YouTube. So all of your stuff is going to be on YouTube. I will also put all the authors on my website, and dear sister over here will also put you guys on the web on her website. Our website is SEO, meaning like we're on magazines. Somebody's on six in 1 month. Quite honestly, most people will take 4 magazines in a year. Somebody went off to pray.
Well, yeah, but I knew who I was working with.
That's right. I mean, that opportunity, I'm glad you took it, because it made up for all the years that you're not in it. And now it moving forward, you could literally not be in magazine for the next 2 years and you'll be fine, because most people can only do 2, 3 magazines a year, right? Even me, I can be on 2, 3 magazines a year because it's a lot. But when you have opportunities like me and I negotiate your price for you, jump on it, because you're never gonna get in there, right? An affordable price, that's for sure. But I try to give back as much in my community as possible. Giving back means not everything free, guys. Okay, I put out so much; it's not even funny. But I do it because for my community, and I hope that you do see your value as a person, and you do see your value as a community member. We all are super busy, but we also want to belong. So finding that harmony within your life and how you can do projects. A lot of our authors here, they have full-time jobs, they have kids, they're going through depression, they have a lot of illnesses. I have suffered from migraine. For the last 2 days, I've been down for the count. I haven't even talked to Susanna and Danielle for so long, it seems like. It's because when I'm in my zone and I'm having a migraine and I have to work full time to teach 6.5 hours a day, I'm done. Like, don't talk to me. Like, that's how I feel. And they know when I need to talk, I will call them. When I don't feel like talking, I won't. I will text back for sure. But it's just like I don't have the energy and the capacity, right? And so, and also just FYI, we are drama free. We don't do drama at all. If you have issues with any of us or any of the authors, please come talk to us. I don't think there's any problem that we can't solve. You just have to lower that ego a little bit, just a little bit. And we love you guys. Honestly, I love people, even the ones who hate me. I still love you. I think you need to love yourself first so you can do that. What about you, sister?
I was just thinking about the fact that one of the things that everybody gets when they're working with us is the fact that we have so many books out there that are our own, whether it is the anthologies. Because this one we just did, that was my 5th anthology since last July. And then the 3 solo books, you've got the anthologies, you've got solo books. This is why we just love being able to work with others and share what we bring to the table.
Yeah. I think for us, even like our experiences plus publishing and everything else, I'm coming up to, like, since I've worked since I was 15 and a half, really, and I'm closer to 50, and you're that, probably close to 100 years, just the two of us in our experience, right? And like literally, yeah.
Considering I'm closing in on, I'm getting close to 60.
Happy birthday to you. She doesn't know where her birthday is going to be. I don't know my birthday either. But at least you get pink moon on your birthday. I don't get a pink moon on my birthday.
Yeah, I get the pink full moon on my birthday. Go figure.
Right? I don't even. Someone just texted me. What lipstick are you wearing? I just get this. It's Is it $3? No, $6 at Sephora. It's a small pencil that I put, and I actually don't have a lipstick. I just have a lip liner, and then I got the new Huda Beauty clear lip gloss. It makes my lips big, like I have fillers. I don't have fillers, okay, but it makes my lips go big with just a lip gloss, guys. So thank you for asking. I just got a text, so I just wanted to do that. The moment there. Kevin, there are methods to my madness. I do. Ask Susanna.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure in the past,
and they're rubbing off.
She probably questioned my madness, but now she knows where I'm heading and where my heart is. She just go with it. She's like, okay, whatever, just go with it. What do you need from me? That's why I love her, is because she doesn't question it. She goes with it. She goes with the energy, and then we just kind of flow. And whatever she's like, thinking. She bounces it with me, and then I just go with her flow because we know where our heart is. We know
Hmm.
who we're going to help. We know where we're going, right? And so that's where it is. The next stop for us is when, sister? Australia or Dubai? Oh, let's
I
say
think there's only one of those two that I can go to. So
maybe we do Vegas first.
there we go.
Wait, no, wait, San Diego first. You gotta come to San Diego first. Then we go to Vegas, right?
Well, San Diego's easy to get to, at least for
Yeah,
me.
that's true. Dr. News like, yes, limited seats. Reach out if you're interested and reach out to CJ. Yes, yes. If you are in our anthology on this one, you can actually come in with $100 off
Right?
for the next project. If you are in the Hounds of Business community, you can't combine Hounds and in our book, by the way. There's no there's no
Which is why
combo
I said
coupon.
that up front too. It's like
Combo
that's yeah, we're
coupon,
not
guys.
saying.
No. So being in the Hounds, you get $50 off, and then being in our anthology is $100 off. So if you're in an anthology, you're definitely better off doing that way. And then we'll go from there, and you can get in for free if you just bring in 4 friends. That's really how we do it. Do you have any last minute conversation? Oh my God, it's over 10. That's fine. That's fine. It's not TV. We're good.
It's not
Um,
TV, and mine
yeah,
doesn't start for an hour. So,
yeah,
I
we're
got
good.
Jacqueline on today.
Woo, I'm gonna be there because I'm still working on her piece. I love writing, so whether it's article or whatnot, I actually really love writing. So, what are we last minute talking about right now in terms of the project? What are some of the things that you can share for the project, sister? Any thoughts? Any guidelines?
It's we've kind of hit some of the basics, the length, and to just don't worry about the length because we've had so many people who they worried that they'd never even get the 1,500 words, and then they come back and it just all came out. Know that writing is really a healing process too. And if there's one thing that's happened, especially with our books, with our anthologies, and we hear it from all the authors, is how once they started and they kind of went back through some stuff that was painful or it came back up and they'd forgotten about it, it really helped to provide closure and healing as they shared it.
Yeah, so it's a healing process, and it doesn't have to be like death. Although we had some people that was healed because of that, death in their family and things like that. It could be your loved ones. It could be your own, adversity that you went through, like crystals, right? It
Hmm.
could be a lot of those things that you're actually going through. So keep that in mind. I wanted to share. Let's see if I can share something here. This is gonna be launching, and I totally forgot about it because I'm all over the place. Um, Let me see if I can share my screen. I wanted to share with you guys what's happening. This is another way that I can do publicity for you. This is actually coming up. It's called the Level Up Circle magazine. I have to add Jacqueline in there. Actually, I forgot to add her in there. So when you talk to her, tell her that.
Yep.
It will have a table of contents. It will have. I will have like links to my thing in here. It will be a magazine that I have designed, created, edited, and written all at once. I know most magazines are like 3 to 4 people. So here's what I'm going to offer to you guys. If you've been wanting to write, but you don't want to write a book, but you want to be writing in magazines, let me know. And then we'll go from there. Maybe we can collaborate on writing magazines. It's something that you can do for Level Up Circle. And that's our sister Danielle, Scott in his heart, course, dear sister Susanna. And I try, if I know you, I will always try to put stuff around you that you love. She loves butterfly. If you notice, all of my things there are silhouette of women. And of course, Rindle, right? Sister Christine was on there, and her bead. Dr. New was also on there. And then, of course, Mike, right? And then Jacqueline will be after Mike. And then, of course, sponsors for our group and things like that that I have in there. But this is a magazine that's going to be coming every quarter. It's not a monthly magazine. I don't have the time right now. It could be a monthly magazine if I have enough people to help me out, because it takes a lot. You all are lucky that I can write fast. Okay. You all are lucky, because I did all the design, everything with links, everything in 4 hours. Because that's how I roll, right? I'm hyper focused, but most of the time, magazine takes about 2 months to 3 months. If you have a lot of team with people, depending on how the volume is, it could take about 2 to 3 weeks. That's how magazine works. I did it in 4 hours because I know who these people are. You see, if I don't know you, I have to do more research. So I do
Right.
need a team for this magazine that I'm creating. So if you're interested in writing, you have to be very good at writing, guys. I don't have time to teach you. I don't have time to run over you, because I do have to. I need an editor. Definitely need a designer. I already have a platform, so I don't need that. And this is a commission only job that you're gonna do, right? To be in Level Up magazine, it's always going to be $300, just like my courses. Some of the courses are 500, some are 5,000. But this one is going to always be $300 in the magazine, unless I'm running a promo. The next magazine comes out is going to be in June, because that's the second quarter for us. So that will be something. So between now and June, if you know somebody, you let me know. But I need someone who's dedicated, not like have a full-time job and me running you down. I don't got time to run you down. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll do some interviews later on. Again, this is commission only. So we'll go from there.
Mhm.
Any last minute, sister, you'd like to tell about our project before I close this out?
I'm just excited to see who's going to be in it, because this is a chance. First off, like you said, with all of these books, everybody who's got their chapters in here, this is a selling point for them, for their business. They own that. That's the one thing we didn't really say, but it's like, you own your chapter. It's in the book first, and then after that, you do with it what you want. And then just having, when you join these, it's amazing the kind of family you end up joining too. The team, the authors, to see them together, and it was beautiful the way that so many of them took it upon themselves to have their own editing sessions. And what came out of those, it just made each of them a better writer.
I'm on mute because you could hear Duke snoring. Bouncing ideas with people that is a total stranger sometimes is better, because they don't have prejudgment of what you did, what you do, how you did it, right? It's just like blank page, and they're just looking at your writing, right? They're not looking anything of preconceived notions and judgments and anything else. They're really just enjoying your writing and your chapter. And so that's one thing I love about that. Another thing is, if you have been on projects like Russ has been with us, Willie J has been with us, who else has been? Dr. New is now in 2 of our anthologies together, right? Has been with us. Willie J, I think, at Russ is the one that's like been with us for a while in those anthology, from Rattle the Wake all the way,
We've been
right?
3. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Willie's 3, Russ. Yeah, I think Russ was Russ 3 or 2? I can't remember now.
no, he was in Rattle the Wake with me, and
Yeah.
and you. Yeah, so 3. So all of those projects that we do, so we kind of grow, and even then, I usually edit their papers and give them ideas and pointers. So I've seen them actually grow from their writing, but their brand is always consistent. Always consistent. So I'm seeing the consistency in there, which I love. And that's why I'm saying, like, even though you're a brand new author and you don't know, or even if you know already and you've done it, there's always room for improvement. So thank you,
Exactly.
sister, for coming in here today.
Oh, thank you too.
And then one more launch, guys, this weekend. This weekend is also the last day, Sunday, midnight PST. That is the last day you can order. If you order after midnight, more likely your book might not come to you. I'm just gonna let you know. And you might, hopefully, if you go through Amazon, you're gonna get a discount. I mean, not a discount, a refund, I'm sure, because it won't be available after that. And then it will be available again. I'm hoping it can get up in a different website, probably, maybe in 3 weeks. It's going to be a higher price because of the distribution that we are going through. And then on June 15th, I'm hoping that some of the authors can come signing. Dr. Bose already said from Colorado, she's coming to San Diego. So she's like, sign me up for that. Yeah, so there are going to be more people coming. I'm hoping Shonda can come also and sign with us. So love you all. Thank you for being here. Bye.
Bye.
Cinderella. Sister, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for watching another episode of Level Up Academy today, brought to you by your none other host, Dr. Leland. Please do not forget to hit subscribe or push that notification bell so anything that we have an activity on at Level Up Academy, you will be the first one to know. If you would like to be a guest in our podcast, both on the MP3, audio only, and also here on live in our YouTube channel, please let me know. DM me. Let's connect. Have a fantabulous day. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. PST for our TV with Jackie, Izzy, and Mike. Bye. Have a beautiful